She says research shows that early brain development, especially in the first 3 years of life, is shaped by home and community environments. Supportive, nurturing families and caregivers are critical in laying the foundation for a child's education. What do you see as the best way to help prepare the youngest children in New Hanover County for success in school?
I suggest you read the book, Whatever It Takes. And it discusses the challenges that Jeffrey Canada had to go through in developing that program. And that was exactly one of his challenges. That was to get parents involved, to help them learn how to read to their children, learn how to expand their knowledge. When I had to write I had to write a paper as I'm working on a doctorate, and I had to discuss why people drop out of school. And one of the things they suggested there was the lack of what is called social and cultural capital. What we've got to do as a school system is we have got to address those issues. We've got to provide educational opportunities, visits to museums and other organizations like that, so that we can expand a child's expectations and knowledge in education.
One issue that I think is very important is the background, the importance of a child's life before he reaches school. And we have kindergarten and school for some 4-year-olds. I think providing more opportunities for preschool children would be certainly a big focus for me. I think getting parents involved, anything that you could do to educate parents along with the children. Still, there's the issue of, I think, going down to even younger and younger children, and I know you can only do so much there. Now, anything we do, I would think, would be optional, but any way to get younger children into good settings where they learn to talk and express themselves and read and get excited about learning would be very worthwhile. Mr. Rhodes.
I'm on board with Smart Start, so I can appreciate Megan Boyd's concern. So the issue is, how do we stimulate that young brain? And it starts really before the child, while the child is still in the womb. We have to have those programs that stimulate those through parental involvement with books and reading and proper child care, and make sure that that child is well taken care of. We've spent a lot of resources here in New Hanover County on through Smart Start, providing that early start for children even before they are into kindergarten. That is very important, and I think that's one of the most important things that I do in this community, is helping those young people develop when they're 1, 2, and 3 years old before they get into the system. I'd like to comment on Mr. Higgins' book that he said he's read about the Harlem Children's Zone. It's nice to read books, but if you don't do anything about the knowledge, it's not very much good to you. I can't think of anything Mr. Higgins has done relative to the Harlem Children's Zone here in New Hanover County.
Stein.
One thing the Harlem Children's Zone has taught us, and many of the other programs around the United States have done the same, and that is that even kids coming even from extremely miserable home lives are able to learn how to do math, science, and reading at a respectable level if they have the right kind of teaching. So we cannot wash our hands of any kids. We have to say that the school does have a responsibility. But I would also like to say that I have seen some things here in New Hanover County that we should all be very proud of. I visited one of the schools in the very poorest neighborhoods where the principal had a great deal of difficulty getting parental involvement. Both parents worked, they were mobile, they never came. And what the principal did eventually was arrange to be there at the school on Saturdays and weekends for the parents to come. She went with the kids to the homes. That school is still underperforming as far as state requirements are concerned, but they did come up about 10 points last year. And so it was the extra effort on the part of that principal and some of the teachers that has made an impact. And so we should never wash our hands of any kids. We can go ahead, all of them can learn.
Hi, Mr. Thompson.
We've had an amazing explosion in knowledge about early brain development. And so we have a knowledge base. Now we must market that knowledge. It's like we learned that cigarettes kill. And we went home and kids say, hey, Mom and Dad, you can't be smoking. You're going to die from it. We need to get every community partner together. We have Smart Start. We have Head Start. We have nonprofit agencies all over this community that we can yoke together and get into the homes and help these mothers. We can work through barbershops and beauty parlors so we can say the early years, that first year is the year when language arts explode in a child's mind, and the foundation for all subsequent cognitive learning is established there. And so by the age of 4, that child's foundation for learning is in place. We have to assure that, and we can do that by partnering with business and also partnering with community not-for-profit agencies to get into those homes, help those moms work interactively, multisensorily with those children.
Ms. Kavanaugh?
One of my greatest prides is the fact that I was a part of starting the preschool program in our school system. Our preschool programs are throughout the county and have really helped as far as student success. I would like to see us expand that preschool program so that we have more children who are of need, who have the opportunity to go to preschool, to be prepared for school, to be enabled so that they can be successful in school. And I think that we can do that in the future.
Mr. Hayes?
I agree with Ms. Kavanaugh with the preschool numbers have increased dramatically in the last few years. Also, I think quite a few things that our schools have been doing for quite some time, and we need to expand that even more, is taking the schools to the community. And with the neighborhood schools, it's much easier because I know in certain areas where I would attend, the function that the schools were putting in there, trying to get parents to become involved with the younger children in particular, providing computers, things of that nature, in community centers, things like that, that it's much easier. But there will be like 4 schools there that were pulling from that one area. Now that you have one as a community school, it's much easier for the parents to be involved. In particular with the younger children, they can attend functions because transportation is no longer a hindrance to many, and they can attend these things. So I think we would continue to take the schools into the community, which our principals and teachers have been doing for some time.
Mr. Hickey?
I agree with Ms. Boyd. A nurturing caregiver, or for most children, a loving, caring, involved parent is the greatest predictor of a child's success. I'm not sure that big government is the answer to increasing preschool. I do believe in educational choice. I believe that many of our children are served very well in private preschools. But I believe that parents should have choices to send their child to a preschool which makes sense for them. Rather than increasing more government-run preschools, I would say perhaps a tax credit for all parents to send their children to either the private preschool of their choice or to a county-run preschool. And lastly, I agree with Mr. Rose. As a non-incumbent, I do believe we need a new board come November. Thanks, Mr. Rose.